Hello, this is part 3 of our rhombus construction, and as you can see, this looks like a mess. There's way too much information here, too many labels, so we're going to clean it up a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. You see all of these angles have a Greek letter and an equal sign and then the value. I'm going to remove those Greek letters, and this is what you do. You right click on any one of the angles, you go to Object Properties, and this menu comes up. Now, notice how on here on the left side, I have a list of all of the angles, and these are all of the angles that are on my drawing. And as I mouse over each one, they highlight on my drawing. It tells me what angle I'm highlighting, okay? So right now, since I right-clicked on angle beta, that's the one that's highlighted here. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the Basic tab, and where it says Show Label, you hit on this drop-down menu, and you're going to hit value. And that just shows me the value of the measure of this angle. It doesn't show me the label, only the value. We're going to do that for each one of the angles. And how do you do that? You stay right here in this window and you just select your other angle. Be careful, do not select the bubble. If you select the bubble, you see what happens? The angle disappears. So make sure the bubble is selected. That means the angle shows. You're just going to select the Greek letter and you're going to hit value. And we do that for each one in our list. Okay? When we're done doing that, I'll show you the next step. Okay. I have eliminated all the labels. I'm only showing the values of the measures of the angles. Now I'm going to do the same exact thing with the lengths. Letter E, letter B, letter A, and letter F. And where are they? They are, let's go down through here, and here they are. Here are the list of segments. So I'm going to select segment A, and again, I'm just going to say value, segment B, value, and go down the list. And I'll meet you back when you're done doing that. Okay, something I want to mention here, when you select your segments so that it shows only the values, when you mouse over the segment, it shows you which segment you are working with. So for this segment A, notice how this is highlighted. That's segment A. Segment B, this side is highlighted. Segment E, that side is highlighted. And segment F, this side is highlighted. And that's it. G and H, remember G and H for my drawing, these two. Notice how it doesn't have a check mark on show label because I eliminated these two lines. These lines refer to the diagonals, okay? And we did not measure the diagonal in its total. We only measured half of it, okay? So we're not using these two labels right now. That's why they're not checked mark here, okay? So that's fine. Now that we've removed all the labels, you can close this window. And now I want to make these numbers, I want to round them off. I don't want these decimal places. They each have 2 decimal places. So if I clean it up a little bit, it'll look better. How do we do that? You go to Options, Rounding, and you select 0 decimal places. And you see your numbers are now rounded off with 0 decimal places. And you can rearrange these and place them somewhere where they look prettier. So you rearrange them. There you go. And now we're going to select colors and decorations for our rhombus. And here's how we do that. We're going to go to, let's say I want to decorate these 2 angles. So I'm going to right click on the angle object properties. And here's our window again. Now, this is what you can do with that angle. Now, notice we're on this angle and it's highlighted. The sides of the angle are highlighted. So I can choose a color for that angle. Let's say I want it to be red. There it is, red. Okay, and here's a preview of how that angle is going to look. You can change the opacity, and when you do that, you can see how this affects automatically on your drawing. You see that? The more opacity you add, the solid it becomes, the more solid it becomes. So you can play around with this to your liking. Let's say I'm going to do 50 opacity. Okay, there. And if I go to style, I can add a decoration. Since I know this angle is congruent to that one, here where it says decoration, I'm going to select this symbol, which means congruent. Okay, and here you have other options. You can change the thickness of the line. You see that? Let's leave it at 2. You can do whatever you want with yours. The style of the line, you can use dashed lines, dotted lines. The size, you can change size like that. You see how your angle is bigger. I'm going to keep mine at 30. I don't know what number it was at there, 30. Okay, so you have many options. Now, how do I do the same thing I did to this angle? Okay, so you stand on the angle and it's beta. It tells you, look, angle beta. So let's go back to color and let's go to beta. Here's beta. Select beta. And now do the same thing to beta. You make it red. You choose an opacity of, I don't remember what I chose for the other one, 50. There. And I go to style and I choose a decoration, and here is my congruent angle. There. And there you have it. Okay? Now you can do that to all your angles. So let's select this angle. Where is this angle? Here it is. If you stand on it, angle gamma. So I've selected gamma, and let's say this angle I want to make blue. So I'm going to select blue. I'm going to select a 50 for opacity. And for style, again, I'm going to say that this is congruent, but I'm going to choose 2. Okay, instead of 1 tick mark, because this one's not congruent to this one, it's congruent to this one. And then do the same for this one. Mouse over it so you can see which angle this is, and this is delta, I think. So that would be this one here. I'm going to select the decoration, 2 tick marks. The color is blue, and the opacity is 50. Okay, there you have those two. Now you want to make the opposite angles the same color. Opposite angles the same color. Okay, and you can also play around with the segments right here. You can change these colors. Okay, so when you mouse over this, notice how it highlights segment E. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to go to my segments. Here's segment E. Select it. Let's say I want the borders of my rhombus to be pink. There it is. And for style, I can make these lines thicker. There. As thick as you want. Let's do a 9. Okay. And let's do pink all around. So this segment here, that's F. So let's go to F. Let's make it a thickness of 7, and let's make it pink. And now let's go over to this one. This one is segment A. So let's select segment A. Let's make it pink. And let's make it a thickness of 7. And now we do this segment, which is segment B. Make it a thickness of 7. And let's choose the color pink. Okay? And the same thing for your diagonals. Your diagonal here, if you mouse over it, that's your segment H. So let's select segment H and let's make this diagonal, I don't know, green. Let's make it green. Like that. Or you could make it a darker green, lighter green, this green. And again, you can change the thickness. Let's make it a thickness of 7 also. And then let's select this one. This one is segment G. So let's select G, thickness of 7, and a color of green. There you have it. Okay, there it is. Those are your 2 diagonals. And what else can we do? We can write a title up here on top. You can play around with this and decorate it as you like. I'm going to move my graph a little bit over here, and here with your text button, text, you hit on top and you're going to write rhombus. Okay, rhombus. And there's your text. You can move your text. You can right click on your text and go to properties, and you can change the color. Let's make it purple. And you can, over here where it says on the text tab, you can make this medium, large, okay, very large. You can change the font. You can change bold to italic, etc. Okay, there you have it. And you can close this window and move your title over a little bit. Right here. There it is. And one more thing I want you to do with your drawing is I want you to let me move this up a little bit right here. I want you to add text underneath your rhombus with the properties that you found out about. So you're going to say diagonals intersect at 90 degrees. And what else did we find out? We also found out that diagonals bisect the corner angles. Okay? You can also add that the diagonals bisect each other. That we already knew because it's a parallelogram. Okay? And on the rhombus, all sides are congruent. And then you hit OK, and this is the text that's going to appear. Again, you can right click on it and you can change the colors, you can change the size, etc. Whatever you want to do. We can do medium, and we can do colors. We could do blue. There it is. So this is how your end product looks, and this is how I want yours to look. And you're going to construct a rectangle and a square. I will give you tips on how to do the rectangle and the square, and then you do the rest on your own. I'll see you in the next video.